Behind me, you might be seeing a really well worn out Toyota 4Runner. It's got about 211,000 miles on it, and it's starting to show some age. It's been beat pretty well. As you can tell, the worn winch is kind of looking a little hammered on top. The box is a little wore out. The ARB bumper's been put to some really good use. There's a whole bunch of cool things going on in there. From a water system that comes out the back right quarter, I can only assume was used for showers. And at one point, this was a 2010 SEMA build, and it was top notch. It had 4-wheeler magazine written on the side of it. It was kind of a combination of them and Toyota put it together, and it was absolutely built for overlanding before overlanding was really a thing. This thing was handed over to the MotorTrend editorial staff, and it was used for a whole bunch of great shows. Some maybe y'all have watched, including Dirt Every Day, and it has been absolutely hammered into the ground. And what better to do that with than a Toyota? But now it's come time to bring this thing back to life a little so the MotorTrend editorial team can continue off-roading in it. We're gonna get ready and pull this thing in the shop, but before we do that, we're gonna run it through the confidence course. Well, that was a lot of fun. But as we can tell, there's a lot of rattling going on. It needs a car wash severely, but even more than that, it needs a little bit of body work. So the first thing we're gonna do is send this thing off, get it freshened up with a little bit of body work, some fresh paint, so at least it's looking the part when it shows up to do its work. But before we do that, while we have it here in the shop, we're gonna start installing some SYLVANIA interior lights, because this is mainly used as camera crew or editorial staff. We want to make sure when they drop their SD card in the car and they're driving down the road, they can see the floor and they can find it. And right now, half of them don't work, and we got a couple different colors in there, which is, you know, not the best. After we're done with that, and it's back from paint, because we don't want to get any overspray on something like this light bar, we're going to add a little bit of light to the exterior, because the editorial team has been complaining about not being able to see where they're going, and that's kind of important with what they're doing. So we got a few light pods. We have a nice light bar here. We actually have another one as well. We'll see what fits on the bumper best or decide where we're gonna put it. But we have a few different options. There's an Ultra series and a Rugged series, and we're gonna kind of pick and choose what fits where and why. You know, if we need something a little more rugged on the bumper for hitting trees and going through water, probably gonna run that route. Or if we really need some extra light, we're gonna run the Ultras. And then we have a tire inflator here. Although we do have an onboard air compressor, this is something where you can start it, let it run. It's gonna go to the PSI you put it at, and then you're just done. But I'm really excited about putting these LED lights on the interior. I know personally, I use them in all the hot rods I use for a couple of reasons. They don't melt the lens I just put in. They're a lot cooler running, and the colors coming off them are a lot better. Personally, myself, I love their 1157 version of the red tail light. It really helps me when I'm building, say, like an old 30s car, and it's got a single light or dual lights in the back, and you can't quite see them because they're so dim. It really brightens it up so people know when I'm hitting on the brakes so I don't get hit in the back. But for now, we're gonna hop in the interior, and we're gonna start brightening up the day inside that cabin. Bam. All right, now that we have these lenses off up here, we did just take the battery off and the doors were open. So these bulbs might be a little hot. Make sure, you know, do a little test or give them 5-10 minutes to cool down. Light bulbs, especially incandescents, are red hot metal. The heat is what gives you the light in an incandescent. And we want to make sure we don't lose our fingerprints on this one, unless you're trying to. Now these bulbs really like to stay in their home. I just can't quite get enough grip. I think we might go and try a little different way of doing that. And that's gonna be a great tech tip. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this tape around that bulb and leave ourselves a little bit of tail, and that way we can pull it straight out. And we got it out. Let's see how we wrap the tape around the top of that, and it gave us something to pull on. It's very small up in there for my fingers. All of our interior light bulbs we're using are SYLVANIA Zevo LED miniature bulbs. So now we got these out. These are 1/68s. They're real easy to install. You just line up the tabs, fits in the hole perfect. I'm gonna start cleaning up these lenses because it's important. Really, these are gonna be more of a modern white light than an incandescent yellow, which I prefer because I can see things better. And as I get older, it starts to help more and more. But as you're doing this, you should always clean your lenses because what good is a new bulb if it's shining through a whole bunch of dust? All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this door light out. There's one on all 4 doors. And what you gotta do is you just gotta get your little tool in here. There we go. And we got that sucker popped out. Now you can unplug this, which we probably will just to check for corrosion in the system itself. We're gonna try to get down in here and clean, and we're gonna try to get this bulb out of there. You can see right here, you can reach down in there. All we're doing is popping it out. It's out now. We've opened up another box of brand new SYLVANIA 1/68s, which is kind of nice that the map lights and the door lights are all the same bulb. Makes it pretty easy. And we want to make sure you don't see any burn marks or any discoloration in any of the electrical system here as far as the circuit goes, and everything here looks nice and clean. I don't see anything down in between there as far as corrosion goes. So now we can pop our new bulb in here. You just got to get it lined up, and it fits perfect. Oh, that is a nice fit. So now we're going to try to get this vanity light out and see if we can replace the bulbs in it because they're a very yellow incandescent look. Just release. I can see that somebody else has been in here. Now you're about to see the difference in quality between the lights. This right here is an aftermarket LED light that you see a lot. Kind of a no-name brand. There's electricity running in here, so you run the chance of shorting anything out. What I really like about the SYLVANIAs is everything's encapsulated in the bulb itself. All right, so now we're gonna do these 2 hatch lights, which I could call like a rear dome personally, but we just need to pop these out, replace these bulbs. Shouldn't be too difficult. Now, we did notice when we first opened up this tailgate here that we had 2 different color lights, and one looked like an LED, which is what we have. The beauty of running the SYLVANIAs that we're putting in here is that all of their interior lights have the same color temperature to them. So if you were to replace one in the next 6 years or 20 years down the line, it's gonna have the same look to it. You don't have to change them all to get the colors the same. Well, I'm really impressed with how those interior lights turned out. It is a lot brighter in there. It's a lot easier when I'm getting out to see what's on the ground. It really spruced up the interior. But as you can tell, we got a lot of work to do on the exterior lights to come. But for today, we're done and we're sending this thing to paint. So we'll see you guys next time when we tackle these exterior lights.